Act, which is listed on the west wall of the public. Please stand and
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, next up is organization of the board. Mr. Alexander will take over from here.
Okay, so as typical, January is reorganization of the Board of Education. And for our audience members who may not be sitting with us but viewing via live stream, we're in the student programs room tonight because there's a city council meeting that starts, and they'll be in there getting set up. So that's why we're meeting in here tonight. But just wanted to say thank you to our board members and people that are here for getting out in this weather that's not so pleasant right now for getting here. So with that, we will start the reorganization of the board. And at this time, I would open the floor for nominations for the office of the chair of the Board of Education president.
I nominate Eric Trusty to be president.
I have a motion by Doris to nominate Eric. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second by Janet to nominate Eric as Board of Education president. Are there any other nominations? If not, can I have a motion to cease nomination and a unanimous ballot be cast for Eric to serve as BOE president for 2024?
I move that nomination cease and Eric Trusty be elected unanimously as president for the 2024 school year, or for the 2024 period.
Thank you. I have a motion by Janet. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Doris. Roll call vote, please, Danielle.
Brandon,
Yes.
Janet,
Yes.
Doris,
Yes.
Eric Trusty,
Abstain.
Lisa,
Yes.
Eric Book,
Yes.
Charles.
Yes.
Motion passes. Eric Trusty will remain president for the Board of Education for the year 2024. So I will then turn the meeting back over to him for the rest of the board elections of officers to take place.
Okay, thank you, Jason. Next up is nomination for vice president. Do I have a nomination from the board?
I nominate Doris Martin for vice president of the board.
Okay, thank you, Rick. Do we have a second on that nomination?
Second.
Second by Brandon. Are there any other nominations for vice president? All right, seeing none, can I have a motion to cease nominations and approve Doris as vice president?
I move
Unanimous.
that nomination cease and we elect Doris Martin as vice president unanimously.
Okay, we have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Eric. Any votes, please?
Janet,
Yes.
Doris,
Yes.
Eric Trusty,
Yes.
Lisa, yes, Eric Book,
Yes.
Charles,
Yes.
Brandon.
Yes.
Okay, motion passes and Doris will be vice president. Next, can I have nominations for secretary and treasurer?
I nominate Dr. Jackie Nielsen as secretary of the Board of Education.
Okay, we have a nomination. Do I have a second?
Second.
Are there any other nominations from the floor? Okay, seeing none. Can we go ahead and move on to the treasurer nomination and then vote on both? Or do we need to vote on each? Okay,
No.
okay. Can we go ahead and cease nominations or have a motion for that to take a vote?
I move that nomination cease and we elect Jackie Nielsen as secretary of the Board of Education unanimously.
Okay, we have a motion from Janet, second.
Second.
Second by Eric. Votes, please.
Doris,
Yes.
Eric Trusty,
Yes.
Lisa, yes, Eric Book,
Yes.
Charles,
Yes.
Brandon,
Yes.
Janet.
Yes.
Okay. Dr. Nielsen has been appointed as Secretary of the Board of Education. Next up, can I have a nomination for Treasurer of the Board of Education?
I nominate Jason Alexander as treasurer of the Board of Education.
Thank you, Doris. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Eric. there any other nominations for treasurer? Okay, seeing none, can I have a motion to cease nominations?
I move that nominations cease and Jason Alexander be elected as treasurer of the Board of Education unanimously.
Okay, we have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Eric, and votes please.
Eric Trusty,
Yes.
Lisa,
Yes.
Eric Book,
Yes.
Charles,
Yes.
Brandon.
Yes.
Janet,
Yes.
Doris.
Yes.
All right, motion passes, and Mr. Alexander will be the treasurer of the Board of Education. Next up, do I have a nomination for recording secretary of the Board of Education?
I nominate Danielle Fairbanks as the recording secretary of the Board of Education.
Okay, we have a nomination of Danielle. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Eric. Any other nominations from the board? Seeing none, can I have a motion to cease nomination?
I move that nominations cease and Danielle Fairbanks be elected as the recording secretary of the Board of Education unanimously.
Okay, we have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Eric. Any votes?
Lisa,
Yes.
Eric Book,
Yes.
Charles,
Yes.
Brandon.
Yes.
Janet,
Yes.
Doris,
Yes.
Eric Trusty.
Yes. All right, next up, committee appointments. As per Board of Education Policy 8151, the President of the Board of Education shall annually appoint board members to each of the two standing committees, School, Community, and Staff Relation, and Americanism Committee. I did have conversations with everybody on the board, and right now, all of the current committees from the 2023 school year will also serve with their same committees on the 2024 year as well. So could I have a nomination to accept the committee assignments?
I move that committee assignments be accepted as
Stated.
discussed, stated.
Okay, we have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Brandon, and your vote, please.
Eric Book,
Yes.
Charles,
Yes.
Brandon.
Yes.
Janet,
Yes.
Doris,
Yes.
Eric Trusty,
Yes.
Lisa.
Yes.
All right, thank you, everybody. Now we have the reorganization and committee assignments completed. We'll move on to the consent agenda. Do I have a motion, please?
I move that the Board of Education of District 15 approve the consent agenda as presented, including approval of minutes of the regular Board of Education meeting on December 11th, 2023, approval of the proposed accounts for payment, approval of budgetary receipts and expenditures for December 2023, approval of resignations of Darcy Harrelson at the end of the 2023-24 school year, special education at Paddock Lane, and of Kevin Jansen, elementary principal, effective immediately. Approval of contracts for 2024-2025, Angela Firking, middle school special education, Miranda Cameron, middle school special education, Cassandra Eckhoff, high school English, Jordan Hines, middle school math. Approval of option students, and, yeah, that's all. Yeah, do we need to, is that person gone?
No, that's our student rep.
Oh, I see, okay. Oh, yeah, there are 7 people.
Okay, thank you, Doris. We have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Jason, do you have a treasurer report?
I do. So for the month of December, treasurer's report, the general fund December bills were $341,274. December payroll was $1,748,295, which brought total expenses for the month to $2,089,570. Revenue for the month of December was $1,939,678. This far, 4 months into the budget cycle, we have expended 29.62%, or 3.7 less than what we've budgeted, what budgeted amounts are, so we're in good shape in terms of budget authority at this point. We will see more expenses in the coming months in relation to the new building, but at this time, everything's pretty much on track or a little bit better than on track, so that's good.
Okay, thank you, Jason. Are there any items that you would like to hold off the consent agenda for discussion? Okay, seeing none, your votes, please.
Charles,
Yes.
Raymond,
Yes.
Janet,
Yes.
Doris,
Yes.
Eric Trustee,
Yes.
Lisa,
Yes.
Eric Book.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Next up, outstanding recognition, employee of the month, Dr. Nielsen.
Perfect, well, happy Monday. So we are excited to, I know that the person I'm going to recognize is a little bit shy, but that's okay. So, Mrs. Carol Beatrice, would you come on up? Nice thing is, we are in a big boardroom, it's small, there are, you know. So, Mrs. Carol Beatrice is the January Employee of the Month. We have a lot of great things to say about Carol. Carol is an individual who has worn so many hats while working at Beatrice Public Schools. She has seen the district through many changes, but also has experience in many different departments. While in BPS, she started in 1991 in the BHS kitchen, and that's when Beatrice High School was right over there. She cooked, served, and worked the register during the years, and then would sign up to help in the summer months as well. During the summer months, she would also pick up custodial jobs to help the Beatrice Middle School custodial staff. In 2006, Carol started working in the district office. Some of her responsibilities include purchasing, accounts payable, inventory, free and reduced student applications, verification, and federal lunch reimbursement requests. For many years, Carol would also share time with Beatrice Middle School, helping to work the register and still accomplish everything she needed. However, with staffing changes, Carol has picked up more responsibilities to help the district office continue to operate and staff continue to receive everything they need to teach at a high level. Carol is a very organized person who is a great support in ensuring the district's finances are accurate. She continues to grow and learn new tricks and tools, especially with the number of changes in technology and systems. She is always willing to help others and develop her knowledge so she can continue to provide great customer service. She truly is a valuable asset to the district. We would like to thank her for many years in our district and know that eventually Carol will be leaving us. But,
Not yet.
Not yet, not yet, but not yet. Eventually she'll be leaving us, but she does a great job, and so thank you, Carol.
Thank you very much.
If I can get a picture of the three of you together,
Thank you
that'd
very
be
much.
great. Eric, you don't want to be in it?
Oh, no, I can't, sorry.
Let me get out of the way.
You don't want to be in it, Jackie?
No.
Okay, perfect. 1, 2, 3. Do you want to get 1, 2, 3?
Yes.
Oh, just the report.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Already do that?
Carol, thanks for all you do.
Thank you.
I need to do this.
And it's going to be awful hard for you to leave us when you're tied to your chair.
Oh, I see.
This
All
is
right.
for.
Next up is the information portion, and we will start with the committee of the whole.
We didn't have a committee of the whole.
We did
meeting.
not have a
Right,
committee of the whole.
Doris.
So I don't know what to. we
My
did not-
bad.
But I did get
The
a,
report is, we didn't have one.
right, but I did get a thing on my phone saying there was a committee of the whole meeting, and I was like,
We didn't have one.
I think I was.
How about let's move on to the stance report?
Perfect. So I sent out updates from the stance meetings that were held on Saturday, 13th. So you have those, but in brief, our typical legislative session, in-person meeting was last Thursday in Lincoln. Governor Pillen was scheduled to come to the meeting and visit with us about his legislative priorities, but he did not make it. He had a trip out of country that came up that he had to attend, so he was not able to be there. We did go ahead with the meeting, and we had an update on the bills that have been introduced up to that point. There's been more, obviously, Friday and today that have dropped, and there will continue to be more through Thursday, because that's the last day of bill introduction, is Thursday this week. And some will make it out of committee, some won't, but at this time, there's about 47 bills that we are tracking, and anticipate many more in the next 3 days. So we did have a luncheon for our state senators as well that we invited, and many of them ended up canceling because of weather. Couldn't, it was too cold to walk across the street, which is fine, but many of them ended up canceling, but we did have about 5 that showed up. So good stance.
Okay, good. Negotiations committee?
The committee didn't meet again, I will give the report when we approve the contract.
Perfect. All right, now is the time for a public forum, and we had no requests to speak tonight, so we'll move on to the action portion. And first up is approval of legal counsel. As per policy 8130, the Board of Education shall select legal counsel. Do I have a motion, please?
Both of them?
Mhm.
I move that the Board of Education of District 15 designate Perry Law Firms or KSB School Law to be representatives of the Board of Education.
Okay,
Should be board.
thank you. I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Brandon. Any discussion on that or anything to add to that, Jason?
I would just say the reason there's two is because law firms in Nebraska, there's two that predominantly represent schools, and they each have specialties that they kind of work, so that's why we elect both of them. It just depends on what the situation is, which law firm we may go to, depending upon the circumstances.
Okay, any other discussion? All right, seeing none, your votes please.
Brandon,
Yes.
Janet,
Yes.
Doris,
Yes?
Eric Trusty,
Yes.
Lisa.
Yes.
Eric Book,
Yes.
Charles.
Yes.
Okay, motion passes. Next up, approval of Jason Alexander as the district's federal grant representative and financial representative. Do I have a motion, please?
I move that the Board of Education of District 15 approve Jason Alexander as the district's federal grant representative and financial representative.
Okay, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Eric. Any discussion, questions around that? All right, seeing none, your votes please.
Janet,
Yes.
Doris,
Yes?
Eric Trusty,
Yes.
Lisa.
Yes.
Eric Book,
Yes.
Charles,
Yes.
Brandon.
Yep.
Motion passes. Next up, approval of the depository banks for Beatrice Public Schools being named as Pinnacle Bank, Security First Bank, First National Bank of Omaha, Beatrice Branch, First State Bank, Nebraska, Beatrice Branch, and Bank of the West, which I don't believe is Bank of the West
No.
any longer.
Mhm.
It's just BMO, right?
BMO, yep. You can note that has changed.
Do I have a motion, please?
I move that the Board of Education of District 15 name the following as the depository banks for Beatrice Public Schools: Pinnacle Bank, Security First Bank, First National Bank of Omaha, Beatrice Branch, First State Bank, Nebraska, Beatrice Branch, and BMO.
Okay, do I have a motion? Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Eric. Any other discussion around the banks? All right, seeing none, can I have your votes, please?
Doris,
Yes?
Eric Trusty,
Yes.
Lisa,
Abstains.
Eric Book,
Yes.
Charles,
Yes.
Brandon.
Yep.
Janet.
Yes.
All right, motion passes. Next up, designate the Beatrice Daily Sun as official newspaper of record. Do I have a motion, please?
I move that the Board of Education of District 15 designate the Beatrice Daily Sun as the official newspaper of record.
Okay, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Eric. Any discussion? All right, seeing none, your votes, please.
Eric Trusty,
Yes.
Lisa.
Yes.
Eric Book,
Yes.
Charles,
Yes.
Brandon.
Yes.
Janet,
Yes.
Doris.
Yes.
Okay, motion passes. Next, approval of current board policies and regulations. Do I have a motion, please?
I move that the Board of Education of District 15 approve the current board policies and regulations.
Okay, I have a motion. I have a second.
Second.
Second by Janet. Any discussion, questions? Okay, seeing none, your votes, please.
Lisa,
Yes.
Eric Book,
Yes.
Charles,
Yes.
Brandon.
Yes.
Janet,
Yes.
Doris,
Yes.
Eric Trusty.
Yes. Okay, next up, approval of contract for school-based mental health therapist. Do I have a motion, please?
I move that the Board of Education of District 15 approve the contract with Carlina Grove to serve as a school-based mental health therapist for the 2024-25 school year.
Okay, thank you. I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Eric. Dr. Nielsen, do you want to give us an update on this?
Yep. So during the November Cal meeting, we talked about the addition of a school-based mental health therapist to the K through 5 building during the 24-25 school year. This will be funded through the Stronger Community Connections grant that we received from the state. We had 2 amazing candidates, and one was internal, one was external, and 2 great interviews, which made it a tough decision for our team. So we are excited to announce that Carlina Grove, our current counselor at Stoddard and Lincoln, was selected. She's very excited about this opportunity and already searching for different things, different pieces, and different processes and practices that we will utilize in preparing and getting ready to go for the next year. So we are very excited to have her on board.
And the grant covers salary and benefits, correct?
Yes, yep,
For 2
covers everything for 2
2
years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any other questions for Dr. Nielsen? All right, seeing none, can I have your votes, please?
Eric Book,
Yes.
Charles,
Yes.
Brandon.
Yes.
Janet,
Yes.
Doris,
Yes.
Eric Trustee.
Yes.
Lisa.
Yes.
Okay, motion passes. Next up, discuss, consider, and take all necessary action with regard to the possible approval of the door access controls for the new PK through 5 elementary school. Do I have a motion, please?
I move that the Board of Education of District 15 approve the bid from Diode for door access control for the new pre-K through 5 elementary building in an amount not to exceed $35,000.
Okay, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Eric. Mr. Alexander.
Yeah, so one of the items we've managed ourselves in the building process of the new elementary school, we've managed door access controls and security video surveillance systems. We've chosen to do that. It saves us a little bit of money if we were the managers of that. And most importantly, we wanted to be able to select the systems that will work with our current door systems at the high school and then also here at the district office, so they'll all interact. And we sent out an RFP. We had 2 responses, one from Kidwell and one from Diode. Diode was the lowest responsible bidder and local, so that's the choice that we are recommending to you tonight. We're recommending the board accept this bid so we can get materials ordered and have everything here and ready for the installation this spring. It'll be probably March before we can get those installed, but just to make sure we don't run into any parts delay or anything like that, we're asking for approval tonight.
Okay. Any other discussion and questions for Jason?
I add one more thing to that. The Department of Education will have a grant that will be coming out in the next, we've been told it'll be mid to end of January, so we're expecting it any time. That will also help cover its first security and surveillance systems. So we will be applying for that grant to help hopefully cover the cost of this if we're successful in the application.
Okay. All right, any other questions? Seeing none, can I have your votes, please?
Charles,
Yes.
Brandon.
Yes.
Janet,
Yes.
Doris,
Yes.
Eric Trustee.
Yes.
Lisa.
Yes.
Eric Book.
Yes.
Okay, motion passes. Next up, approval of the 24-25 negotiated agreement with the Beatrice Education Association. Do I have a motion, please?
I move that the Board of Education of District 15 approve the 2024-25 negotiated agreement with the Beatrice Education Association.
Okay, thank you. I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Eric. All right, Janet, do you want to give an update on this?
I will. The negotiations committee met with representatives from BEA 4 times. We reached an agreement on December 6th, and BEA membership approved the agreement on December 13th. An increase of $1,000 on the base was approved. The base salary for a beginning teacher will be $38,475. Depending on the insurance package they receive, their total salary and benefit package will range from $48,097 to $66,711. For a mid-level teacher, the salary will be $58,097. Again, depending on the insurance package they receive, their total salary and benefit package will range from $67,719 to $86,333. And the maximum salary for a teacher will be $75,411. Depending, again, on the insurance package they receive, their total salary and benefit package will range from $85,033 to $103,647. These figures do not include FICA, retirement, life insurance, or long-term disability insurance. It also does not include any extra duty pay they may receive. The total package increase is 3.94%. The contract for a full-time teacher remains at 186 days. The average years of service for our current staff is slightly over 15 years. The average salary, which is the teaching contract only, is $59,316.88, and the average salary only increase per teacher is $2,397.91. Several categories, changes were made to extra duty pay, and extra duty pay is negotiated every 3 years, and this was the year that we did that. Health insurance increased by 1.99%. There was no change to PTO or sick leave. Changes were made to bereavement leave depending on the relationship of the employee to the deceased. That was spelled out a little bit more clearly than it had been. Several additional topics were discussed which will be addressed as policies. They were not part of the negotiated contract, so we will discuss those at future meetings. And I would like to say thank you to the BEA negotiators and the other members of the negotiation team, Doris Martin and Eric Book, for their commitment to recruiting, hiring, and retaining qualified staff. It was a good negotiations year.
Would you like to add anything, Jason?
Nope.
Okay. Any other questions for the negotiations committee? All right, thank you, Janet, Eric, for the Doris for your work on that.
I would like to say that it went very smoothly because Janet came well prepared and the teachers came well prepared. They had done their homework, so we got to the table and were able to easily discuss, and nobody got defensive about things, which it was it was good. And I've been there on both sides and for lots of years, and it was probably the best on both sides, so it was good.
All right, seeing no other comments, can I have your votes, please?
Brandon,
Yes.
Janet,
Yes.
Doris,
Yes.
Eric Trusty,
Yes.
Lisa,
Yes.
Eric Book,
Yes.
Charles.
Yes. All right, next up, administrator's report. Mr. Alexander.
So just a few things to report to you. First of all, in regards to the weather, so everybody knows, tomorrow we're doing a 2-hour late start. That's our plan at this point. We are not having any bus service, and I know that's not convenient for everybody, but the diesel bus is in communication with our transportation department this morning. First student, they're just not reliable. And we'd rather, if people can't make it, and you know, we understand that, they have the option to choose whether or not to transport their students if they decide it's not favorable for them. And just, everybody's doing the best they can, and I know it's statewide right now, so everybody's doing the best job we can. But that's a decision we came to, and hopefully everybody can live with that, and that's the reason why that the transportation department just said that they would feel horrible if a bus got stranded in those temperatures. So, but we also know we gotta get back to school at some point too, so we figured that was a happy medium. Just for an update, elementary principal interviews are set for January 26th, Friday, January 26th. And we had 5 candidates. We have 3 that we'll be interviewing. And then depending on how things happen, we could be looking elsewhere as well. So that's what we're starting with. We did apply for the 2-year new school adjustment through the NDE and the Nebraska Department of Education. We have been notified that we were successful in that application. So basically what that means is, because we're opening a new school in the year 2024, we will receive a little bump in our state aid. And then in the year 2025, we will also see a little bump, but it's not quite as much. It's like 60% the first year and 20% the next year. So that application was successful, and I have a list of the other schools. I'll put that information out to you via update, but that's good news for us. That money's just designed to help with the cost of opening a new school. So it will be there for 2 years and then it's done. Policy 4110.1, Janet mentioned in the negotiations report that we are looking at some changes to certain policies that we currently have that do kind of impact negotiations a little bit, or are part of that process. So those policies, that policy was discussed. We'll be bringing that to you at the January Committee of the Whole meeting. One other thing we're looking at and researching, and hopefully we'll have a policy to bring to you at the same time, is tuition reimbursement for teachers that the district asks to get an endorsement in a different area. There have been times where we've asked teachers to go back and get an endorsement to teach a specific area that we're really struggling finding candidates in. And so, in the past, we've never reimbursed those people for that, but we're looking at this point, moving forward, we would start reimbursing. So we'll be bringing those two policies for you. And finally, just some statistics for you. And I think this bodes well for you as a Board of Education, because I think you listened to what we were talking about, you tried to help, and some things that were brought to us last year by some of our classified employees, so I wanted to report back to you kind of where some of that has ended up so far this year. Last May, as you recall, you voted to approve an extra day, an extra paid day for classified staff who met an excellent attendance requirement. And basically that requirement was based on the number of days or the number of hours they worked, and if they attended, didn't miss so much work, they would get an extra day's pay. So we told you we would pay them in January, and we'll do it again in June. Out of the 99 total eligible employees, we had 41 employees who earned that. So that is really good, and they'll get an extra stipend pay this January. And we sent out letters to those folks last week, so hopefully they appreciate that. We did make sure we thank them for their excellent attendance and help with, you know, our students and our staff. The total stipend amount for that time is $4,555.80. So hopefully we see more second semester, but I think I just appreciate you listening to the people that came and being willing to support that, and I think it says something that 41 of our employees thought that was important enough to, and I think it's a nice reward for them to see that we really do want to support them. So.
Okay. Any other questions for Mr. Alexander? All right, notification of next meeting. The next regular meeting of the Board of Education will be February 12th.
Do we skip this?
Conflict of interest form.
We will send out conflict of interest forms for you, and if you have one or have questions about whether or not you should fill it out, we will be glad to answer those for you. We'll send those to you.
All right, the next regular meeting of the Board of Education will be February 12th, 2024 at 7 p.m. in the Administration Building. The Committee of the Whole meeting will be January 25th, 2024 at 6 p.m. in the Administration Building. An agenda for the meeting, which shall be kept continually current, is readily available for public inspection at the Superintendent's office during normal business hours. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
I move that the Board of Education, District 15 adjourn.
We have a motion, a second.
Second.
And your votes, please.
Janet,
Yes.
Doris,
Yes.
Eric Trustee,
Yes.
Lisa.
Yes.
Eric Book,
Yes.
Charles,
Yes.
Brandon.
Yes.
We are adjourned.